Lesson 3.1 of the Module 3, Communication in Thailand. In this topic, you will learn about the overview of communication in Thailand and its communication situation and comparative studies. An overview of communication in Thailand. Thailand is one of the foundation members of ASEAN. It was ranked 92 in the 2011 of ICT Development Index or IDI of the ITU. It was classified as an upper middle class income country according to the World Bank. The country's population is around 67 million. In 2013, there were 22.2 million of computer users or 35% of the population in Thailand. 18.3 million of internet users or around 28%, and 46.4 million of mobile users or about 73%. In the municipal area, had higher proportion of computer, internet, mobile phone users more than non-municipal areas. As we can see in the chart, the country profile, the urban population was about 44%, while the rural population is about 55%. In Thailand, communication regulator is called National Broadcasting and Telecommunication Commission or NBTC. NBTC is an independent regulatory agency. It was initiated since the year 2000. But because of the delay of establishment, it was successfully established in 2011. It is a single coverage regulator for both telecom and broadcasting sectors. Anyway, it still has two subcommittees to oversee telecommunication sector and broadcasting sector separately. NBTC has two subcommittees to oversee telecommunication sector and broadcasting sector separately. It's called National Telecommunication and National Broadcasting Commission. NBTC has duties in formulating national communication plans, licensing and regulation, competition regulation, content regulation, and communication rights and freedom of expression and international relations. In telecommunication sector, the country's telecommunication industry has been undergone a period of strong growth, which has started to moderate in the last few years after privatization of telecommunication sector. After the establishment of National Broadcasting and Telecommunication Commission or NBCC, there are many developments include revision of regulations aimed at preventing foreign dominance in the local telecom industry. Also, in the 2013, the NBTC declared the Year of Consumer Protection as it started a campaign to enforce industry regulations. Social media has continued to prove controversial in Thailand, especially since the May 2014 military coup. Some major operators of telecom sectors or telecom service include Advanced Info Service, DTAC, True Corporation, Telephone Organization of Thailand Corporation or TOT, Communication Authority of Thailand or CAT, Thai Mobile and TTNT. Actually, there are more others, 7 telecom service company, but it's the major operators. As you can see, TOT and CAT or CAT are the former state enterprise which was privatized during the period of communication reform. In printed media, there are 34 daily newspapers with around 11 million of circulation in Thailand. Main publications of the daily newspapers and magazines are published in Thai language. And there are some other languages such as English, Chinese, and Japanese. Foreign language newspapers like this mostly circulated in Bangkok and municipal areas. The first newspaper started by American missionary in 1844. Most newspapers and magazines in Thailand are privately owned, and by tradition and law, it's not allowed criticism of some particular topics. For example, the monarchies, the internal security matters, and Thailand's international image. mainly newspapers coverage of sensational news stories, but in the few years, during the few decades, it was improved of the current affair issues. Most newspapers printed the story of the sensational news stories was covered by many newspapers, especially in Thai language. However, there are some improvement of the current affair issues after a couple 20 decades. Most of the newspaper coverage is about the sensational news stories, but still they have more improvement of the current affair issues, covering politics and economic studies issues, especially in journalism professions that has been increased because of a higher education in journalism education. Thai New Press or the print media enjoy press freedom more than broadcasting media, but they still have self-censorship. For example, some issues that do not cover, especially the issue about monarchies. In broadcasting sector in Thailand, it has been in the transition process since the reform of the communication regulation in the late 1990s. Prior to the reform of the communication, broadcasting in Thailand is under government control, either public relations department, either military such as the Ministry of Defense, armies, and Mass Communication Organization of Thailand or MCOT, or some of them under control of the Office of the Prime Minister. So the NBTC, after the reform, the NBTC set up the first broadcasting master plan, which covered from 2012 to 2016. It includes two main strategies. First one is frequency allocation. The second one is the transition to digital broadcasting transmissions. Thai people could access to a variety of television platforms such as free-to-air, satellite, cable, internet, and other kinds of mobile devices such as smartphone, notepad, and others. As we can see in the Thai broadcasting media landscape of this slide, there are 6 free television channels, which is covered by some of the government agencies, for example, Army, NBTC, which is National Broadcasting Television, which under the control of Public Relations Department. There are other kinds of broadcasting that Thai people can access. For example, pay TV, which accessed by satellite operators, cable operators, or on the internet, which we call IPTV. They also have digital free TV, which has the public channels, 12 of them. 24 of them are commercial and 12 of them are community. And also the radios of Thai radios, most of them are covered or controlled by the government agency, for example, military. Radio in Thailand was controlled or owned by mostly government agencies, for example, military, MCOT or Mass Communication Organization of Thailand, Public Relations Department, police, and other kinds of government agencies. According to the first broadcasting master plan, NBTC set up a roadmap of digital broadcasting transition, as we can see in the picture. The start of digital broadcasting transmission actually is expected to be according with the ASEAN arrangement, which expect that the analog switch off will start in 2015, which means this year, and is expected to end by 2020. The digital terrestrial television firstly broadcast in May 2014, which is last year. There were 12 channels for public service, as explained in the previous slide, and also 24 of commercial service, like this slide. And they also have 12 for community service. This slide indicates that the 24 digital television for commercial purpose has a variety of categories, such as children channels, 3 of them, news channels, and SD variety or standard definition variety of the program, and the high definition of variety program. Now we move to the next topic, which I will talking about Thailand communication situation and comparative studies. One of the big struggle reform issue is the defining of the roles and the restructuring of TOT and CAT, which was the state enterprise, and it has to be privatized. In the fairness to the industry regulation at the time, the industry over the year has seen as a sustained period of constantly policy direction from the government. The market, especially telecom market, has been waiting for a long time for the creation of promised new regulator as well as the allocation of 3G spectrums. With the adoption of digital terrestrial broadcasting, there is an increase in the number of terrestrial free-to-air channels from 6 channels to 48 channels, as explained in the previous slide. We can see that the increase from 6 to 48 channels means the increase of 700% of the channels. But the increased number of channels is difficult for the already competitive broadcasting business, which was value around 70 billion baht per year before digitalization. The new and huge market industry attract both old and new players to jump into the business. Even there are new broadcasting channels, but in the new network, it still has an old network player in this new battlefield. Many of them provide or have been in the media industry for such a long time, not a network operator, but as a program producers or program aggregators. So, one challenge is that advertising budgets are still or similar to the previous year, but there are more choice or the more channels for the advertising budget. Also, increase in the number of channels might not reflect the increase of variety of the content for the consumer. Last topic is about the freedom of communication. Freedom of communication in Thailand is currently in the constitution, but some restriction access to the information, especially monarchy issue and national security. Press freedom in Thailand has affected by political situations from time to time. Sometimes the press enjoy freedom of expressions. They are free to publish and criticize the government or state agencies. However, during last year, media freedom has been declined because of the military coup in May 2014. After studying the topic about communication in Thailand, I suggest students to do some self-assessment exercise about discuss the broadcasting digitization of Thailand. How would it affect broadcasting industry, both in the business side and in the consumer side? And how the change in Thai politics could have influence or effect on the press freedom.